in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps we take our new customers through so that they can kickstart their new accounts. We typically spread it out over a week, but in this video, you'll be able to do it in less than 30 minutes. I'm Jason, growth specialist at wildmail, where we help make ActiveCampaign even better for Europe-based businesses. Let's get started. So as I mentioned, we typically spread this out in your first week with us using ActiveCampaign through wildmail. But today we're going to compress this into one video that you can follow all the way through. And first, if you're a new customer of ours, book an onboarding call and go through this, start your account with us and with our support. But otherwise, to follow along, we're going to start with creating a list inside ActiveCampaign. So I'm going to jump right in to our account. And you'll see here it says, we want to always create a master list, just one, where we store all of our contacts. We want to have as few lists as possible. So in our account here, you'll see the W here for wildmail. If I go to contacts and open up the navigation, I can go to lists, and you'll see we have 3 lists. Now this is for our English audience, 1 list, our Spanish audience, 1 main list, and then we have a separate product, Wild Metrics, and this is our main list with all contacts there. Each of these lists is going to be segmented by tags. We'll get to that in a second, but first, up in the top right, you'll click Add a List. Give the list a name like main list. The URL is typically going to be your homepage, especially if you're just starting out. So we can just say wildmail.io. And then as this says, remind your contacts why they're on the list. If you're using the personalization tag sender list reminder, this will be viewable in the emails that you send to your contacts. Okay, so you signed up for the wildmail newsletter. Cool. Hit add. And now we've got a new main list. Okay. So first list is created. Now, second, we're going to import your contacts. If you're moving over to ActiveCampaign, or if you have a list of contacts from somewhere else, I'm going to show you how to import your contacts. And typically it's going to be in a CSV file. So back inside of our lists, I can go to contacts. And in the top right, I'm going to click import. And the most common way that you can import is from a CSV file. Now you can import from file and it'll be a CSV. You can also copy and paste contacts. It'll look like this. You'll have to separate by commas. We highly recommend using importing from file with the CSV. These are some other different ways that you can import contacts from other apps. If you integrate, we'll be doing integrations towards the end of this video. So stick around to check that out. We're going to click import from file and we can choose sample import file. Now you can see here, these are the columns that we have to import from our CSV file. And it's very important that you have these set up as headers in your columns as well in your CSV file so that it imports and there are no surprises. You can see it easily maps email to email, first name to first name, etc. If you have a date field, it needs to follow this format here. If you have a field with multiple values, I'll show you here. This is what it needs to look like, separated by 2 vertical lines for a field with multiple values. The date field needs to be year, followed by month, followed by day. This is what the phone field needs to look like. And then for multiple tags separated by commas. So make sure you have your CSV file set up that way so you can easily map the fields. If you need to, you can adjust these, but it should match exactly if you have your CSV files set up correctly. Then you can select the lists that you want them to subscribe to. You can choose your main list, add any additional tags, import them as active contacts. You shouldn't have any existing contacts, so you don't need to worry about this here. Check those now. You can uncheck those if you don't have any webhooks or automation set up that need to be triggered when you import these contacts. If it's a fresh account, you won't need to worry about these, and you can go ahead and hit import now. Back in your contacts, just a quick note, if you only have a few contacts and you don't need to import an entire file, just want to add them manually, you can go to add a contact in the top right and create the contact profile that way. Open up the custom fields, fill those in. Okay, so we've created our first list, imported our contacts. Now we're going to create tags. Remember I said in the beginning, you want one main list because we're going to segment entirely using tags. Tagging is a fast, easy way to add info to a contact. The flexible folder system to group your contacts gives you a snapshot of their behavior with your brand and their engagement with your brand. And in order to keep tags organized based on the functionality, we recommend that you follow this classification system here. You have tag type, the prefix that will be used, the purpose, and an example of that tag. Create a doc like this, use it, update it for your team. You don't need to use our exact tag types or prefixes. The important thing is that you have a system that exists for you and your team, so someone can come in and they understand which tags they should be using, and everything can be kept organized. So to create your tags, we're going to go over here and under manage tags. Once you've created that separate Google Sheet of all your tags, you can paste them in one per line or separate them by commas. And when you do that, you'll be able to click add tags and they'll show up over here. You can see what ours look like here. You can search for them, edit them, see the automations that they're in. So once you've created a tagging system based on your business and you've added those into ActiveCampaign, you're going to learn how to send your first email campaign. Back inside ActiveCampaign, over here on the left, this is the campaigns feature. This is perfect if you have an existing newsletter and you want to know how to get out that next newsletter. If you've just moved over to ActiveCampaign, or if you're looking to start one, you can go here, click create a campaign in the top right. We use campaigns for one-off emails. So this is going to be best for newsletters, product updates, flash sales, things like that. And automations, which we'll get to in a second, are best for your evergreen marketing efforts. These are going to be campaigns triggered based on behavior from your contacts and actions that they take with your business. So here we'll just say test 1. We're going to choose standard. I can quickly give you an overview. Standard is best for the one-time email campaigns. Like we use it for our newsletter. It goes out every week. Automated is going to take you right into automation. So we're going to go over that in a minute. Autoresponder is just a simplified version of an automation. Split testing, you can get into that in the future, but it's not necessary to kickstart your account. This is going to be great to test subject lines, subheaders, who the email is sent from, etc. RSS trigger, you may want to set this up if you like to notify your subscribers every time you post a blog or an event is updated on your site. But we're not going to go over that now. This isn't a simple one-off campaign. And then date-based, send on contact birthdays, etc. You can set that up with an automation, or I'll show you anyways how you'll be able to schedule out these standard emails in just 1 minute. So we'll hit next. Choose the list that you want to send it to. So we'll choose our main list. You can also segment your selected list and click segment selected list, create new segment. And you can see here, segments allow you to target specific types of contacts, location, their business type, their industry. You can use custom user fields. You can use tags. We typically use tags. You can use specific behavior, that they've actions they've taken on your site, pages they've visited, etc. So click add your first condition, select a condition, and let's just say business type is SaaS, and say done. So now we're going to send to our first segment of our main list, and it would be everyone that told us they're a SaaS business. We can hit next. Here, you'll be presented with the options to choose the new email designer, the classic AC designer, a text-only email, or custom HTML. For right now, we're going to use the email designer, the new email designer. If you want to be using conditional content, we have a video on that right here. It's only available currently on the classic designer at the time of this video. So I'll hit continue. You'll see here you have all of these different templates that you can create. You can also click start from scratch up here. But let's just say we want to get our newsletter out as fast as possible. So I'll choose the minimalist newsletter here. It has the from name, set your from email, and the subject. And we can just say newsletter 1, name, continue. Now you're here in the drag and drop editor. Everything is easy to adjust. You can adjust the text, the company name. You can easily grab and drag the blocks to move them around. Adjust the copy. When you want to add different images, click in, and over here to the right, you'll see change image. You can easily click and drag to upload or click add a file. Adjust the email to your liking. You've got your socials down here to update and adjust the CTA button as well. Down here, this is required. Click to unsubscribe, and it'll contain your sender info as well. They will not let you send out an email without the unsubscribe link. You can adjust that if you want, but you have to make sure that you include the unsubscribe link in your email. Otherwise, this will show up by default. ActiveCampaign will automatically include it for you. Okay, and that's a good thing because it's protecting their servers, protecting your domain from any issues with spam. So once you've created your email here by adjusting all of the settings over on the right, or by clicking, dragging, clicking in and adjusting your copy, you've got your text toolbar here at the top. You can click the settings, adjust the subject line if you want, add a pre-header text. Okay, you can adjust the reply to if you have a support email, and always test your campaign. Click send test here. Finally, double check and make sure that it passes the spam check. This will pick up any big red flags to keep your email out of the spam folder. Hit save when you're ready. Hit next. It'll bring you to this page. You can adjust these again. And this is the summary. Open and read tracking, we'll keep those on. Link tracking, this will track when someone clicks. Keep that on as well. We keep reply tracking off, but you may want to use it in order to trigger automations in the future. Just know that it's here. Google Analytics, if you're using that integration, you can turn that on. And then here's where you'll be able to schedule when you want this campaign to go out. So if you do have a newsletter, you probably have a specific day of the week and time that it goes out. Here's where you'll adjust it and then toggle it on. You can preview the email and again, the spam check. When it's ready, you can either send it now, schedule it as I mentioned, or just hit save and exit if you're going to edit further in the future. So we'll hit save and exit. Now we've just created our first email campaign and scheduled it for sending. If you don't have any context yet, that's okay. Now you know how to send out your first email campaign, and in a few steps, we'll show you how to bring in new contacts and grow your list. Before we create the doorway that'll allow contacts to opt in and grow your list, we want to set up an automation that'll be ready to welcome them and begin to start building an authentic relationship with them. Okay, so this is going to be inside your ActiveCampaign account. You can go to automations now below campaigns. Create an automation in the top right. Start from scratch. Or you can search welcome and find a welcome series if it fits. We'll go ahead and choose this welcome series recipe. We have this video that explains recipes. They're basically templates that you can use that are pre-built to get you started even faster. So we're going to choose start from scratch and hit continue. First, we're going to select a start trigger. Typically, we would use a tag because we will have different opt-in points. For this example, we're going to just choose subscribes to a list and use the main list that we just created. We'll have it run once. We don't want them to receive this welcome email multiple times, and hit start. Now from here, we're going to hit the plus and go to sending options, send an email. We'll call this welcome. You can start with a template or from scratch, or start with a past design. In this case, we'll start with a template. We can use the email designer and hit continue. From here, you'll see your basic templates. We can go to our designed templates and search for welcome and hit select. Customize the sender details. Hit continue. From here, you're going to go through the same steps that we went through before to create your welcome email for someone that's just signed up to your list. So we'll go through those steps and then hit save and exit and hit save. Now from here, we can simply end the automation, or if you want to, this is a perfect time to add a wait block. We can say wait for a specified period of time, 1 day, hit save. And now you can start a nurture sequence of emails that go out to a new subscriber. For now, we'll just delete this and say okay. And set it active when you're ready. So now we've built out our first automation to welcome new subscribers to your main list. So it's time to create the gateway for new subscribers to opt in and become ActiveCampaign contacts for your business. We're going to create our first form. To get to your forms, you're going to go over here in the left to website, and it's the first thing that'll pop up at the top. Forms here. Create a new form in the top right, and you'll see these different styles. Now, if you're on the lowest plan, you may only see inline form. Otherwise, you have one that can float at the top or the bottom, a box that can float, and the pop-up modal as well. So we'll give this a name, and we'll say general opt-in. I'll have them subscribe to the main list that we created, and we'll hit create. Now, here is where you can customize your inline form. Again, the inline form is one that you're going to embed into your landing page builder, your website builder, whatever you're using. If it's ClickFunnels, WordPress, wherever the rest of your site is built, you can use this. And I'll show you at the end how to grab the code and pop it into an HTML box. You can also hand this off to a developer. So you can adjust your title here. So you can say subscribe for email updates. And then click in here and adjust over here to the right. This is HTML code so that you can adjust it, add links, etc. But we're just going to say, then by default, you've got the full name field and the email field. You can collect other information as well. Over here on the right is the editor for the form. So you can just click and drag any other fields that you want to include. We recommend that you include the fewest amount possible to collect what you need to reduce friction. So we'll just leave it at full name, email, which is required. You can adjust the colors with style, adjust the backgrounds, the borders, and the padding. You can also adjust custom CSS. And then down here in the bottom right is where you can turn off the ActiveCampaign branding. If I turn it back on, you'll see it here. Probably don't want that for your business, so you can hit off. First, you have your on submit settings. So this is what's going to show when a new contact submits the form. And then you have the form action. So we're subscribing them to the main list. We already selected this. Then for additional actions, you've got add a tag, add to a deal, send emails, and subscribe to a list, which we already have. So maybe you'll add a tag like status double opt-in and hit add. Because inside the gear here next to the main list, we're going to go to the opt-in options, and now we're going to set up what happens after they submit the form. They get taken to either this thank you or to a different URL, but they have to complete the double opt-in. We always recommend that for the health of your list and your domain, you include the double opt-in and don't turn that off. So here is where we can actually edit what else happens with the form. We've got the opt-in confirmation turned on, so double opt-in is turned on. You can click to preview the email that they'll receive. So you can see here it says, thank you for subscribing to main list. You are someone, this is quite technical, the copy. So we'd probably want to go in and edit that. You can click edit. You're already familiar with how to use the editor here, adjust it to fit your brand. And then one important thing to note in the confirm my subscription button, if you look over here to the right, the link that's included is the confirm link. This is a default link from ActiveCampaign. It's required for the double opt-in to be completed. So you can't adjust this link here. You have to include this personalization tag in the confirm my subscription button. You can adjust the button the button copy itself, but not the link that they're taken to. In order to adjust where they'll be taken when they click this confirm link, we're going to hit done. When we're done editing our email, go back into options, hit the gear. We've adjusted the opt-in email, and then this is the action. When they hit the confirmation in that email, you can either show a message and then customize that message like this, or you can redirect to your own URL. Most people will probably redirect to a thank you page that's custom and on brand for their business. That's what we would suggest. And then here is the address that's paired with the form. Again, this is a requirement for opting into your list. So we'll hit save. And then we'll click integrate once this is all done. And here's where you'll get the simple embed link, the full embed. You can hand this off to a developer on your team or someone that's familiar with code, HTML, or otherwise you can just grab this here, copy it, and paste it into an HTML block in your editor. If you're using WordPress, you can use this here to add the form directly to WordPress by installing the ActiveCampaign WordPress plugin. You can just click Get Started and follow the prompts there. It's very easy. Download the plugin here. You've got a direct link to send people directly to the form. You probably won't use this because you want to embed this on your website somewhere. And then you have a Facebook link as well, again, with the prompts where you can add the subscription form to your Facebook page. So again, I would recommend grabbing this and then just adding it into an HTML block in your website editor. So now if we go back to our automation and we have welcome, whenever someone opts into that form, they're going to subscribe to the main list, and then that trigger is going to send them the welcome email here, just to show you how those two are connected. So now we've created your first form, and you're able to have new contacts opt into your list and grow your list. You can then reach them with the campaign that we built here and any future campaigns. Finally, we're going to set up your first integration. And chances are you probably have other platforms that you're using to run your business, maybe Calendly, maybe Typeform, Stripe, Google Sheets, and most likely you're connecting them with a third-party tool like Zapier. Okay, so first I'll show you where the integrations are located in ActiveCampaign. Back inside my account, if I go to the bottom left here, you'll see apps and you'll see settings. Quick note, if you're setting this up for an e-com store, you can go to integrations and add an integration. And there are actually deep data integrations specific to Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Square, and Facebook for custom audiences that you'll want to set up. It helps pull in more data that you can use, and it's specific to e-com for these top four. It'll show in an e-com format for each contact, and it'll give you access to an additional dashboard for e-com data. Otherwise, you can go to apps right above settings. And now you have access to all of the different apps that integrate with ActiveCampaign. And there are hundreds. So first, I'll show you how to integrate with Zapier. And we're going to notify our team when a new contact subscribes inside Slack. You can obviously swap out your own platforms for this. First, you'll need an account at zapier.com. And we'll hit create a new Zap. We're going to choose ActiveCampaign. You can search for it here if you don't already see it. ActiveCampaign. Select our event. So we'll choose new contacts added to list. Hit continue. Here we already have our accounts connected, but otherwise you'd connect a new account and go through the prompts. It'll ask for your API URL and your API key, and you can find those in settings and then developer. I'm not going to click it because this is private information. You never want to share your API key with anyone. So back in Zapier, I'll select our account, hit continue, and then we're going to select the list that we created in an earlier step. Hit continue. Then back inside your account, you can go to your contacts, add a contact, and then add a test contact and click add. Add them to the main list that we created and hit apply. Go back to your Zap and hit test trigger. And now you can see it's pulled in the test contact. Hit continue. And for the next step, we're going to choose Slack in order to notify our team. So we're going to choose the event, which is going to be send channel message. Hit continue. You'll choose the account. Ours is already set up here, but otherwise you'd have to connect yours again. It'll walk you through the prompts just like with ActiveCampaign. So I'll select ours and hit continue. Pick a channel. You could say sales. Enter the message. A new lead has subscribed. Add emojis. You can add data from the ActiveCampaign module above here. So I can go to all the options. I can say contact first name, space, contact last name, enter, contact email address, send as a bot, yes. You can update the bot icon if you want. If you have one for like an icon logo for your business, and hit continue. And then you can test the action here, and you can go to our sales channel. You can see this here, a new lead has subscribed, and it has the information. You can also remove this sent via link inside the settings of the Zap. Right here where it says include a link to the Zap, you can turn that off. And then when you're ready, hit publish. So congratulations, you've kickstarted your ActiveCampaign account. Just to recap, you have created your first list. You've imported any contacts that you have to that list. You've created your tagging system using this nomenclature here. You've learned to send out your first email campaign. Set up your first automation to welcome new subscribers to that list. You've created your first form so they can opt in. And then you've just set up your first integration to notify your team when they have a new lead signing up to your list. So to continue your customer journey, your next step would be to go check out our marketing automation playlist here on YouTube and drop any questions that you have around this setup or anything else ActiveCampaign related in the comments below so that we can help you out.